Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. It is not enough for the United States to modify the chip rules by itself, and it has also would other countries to participate in the restrictions. The agreement reached by the United States, Japan and the Netherlands has spread in the industry. The Netherlands and Japan will cooperate with the United States to implement export controls on various semiconductor technology products, such as DUV lithography machines. The Netherlands is expected to implement rules in the summer, while Japan has also unveiled restrictions. However, what Biden did not expect was that the U.S. chip giant was under scrutiny at home. At the end of January this year, the Dutch company ASML disclosed that the United States, Japan and the Netherlands had reached an agreement, and informed that it would take time for the agreement to be implemented. In early March, the Dutch official announced that it would join the ranks of the United States in restricting the export of DUV lithography machines in order to maintain national security. Japan also received news on March 31 that it plans to restrict the export of 23 items of semiconductor manufacturing equipment, including 3 items of cleaning equipment, 11 items of thin film deposition, 1 item of heat treatment equipment, 3 items of etching equipment, 4 items of lithography equipment and 1 item test equipment. Among these semiconductor devices, Japan occupies a certain market share. Although Japan does not have a world-class chip manufacturing giant, it is a very important participant in the global semiconductor industry chain. With the announcement of Japan's restrictive rules, it means that Japan's plan to join the U.S. camp in implementing export controls has been put on the agenda, and the rules are expected to be implemented in July. Although Japan's published restrictions did not mention any country, anyone with a discerning eye can see what Japan intends to do. First came the Netherlands, and then Japan. If the tripartite agreement between the United States, Japan and the Netherlands is fully implemented, it will be another wave of reshuffle for the global semiconductor industry. Of course, things are not so easy to carry out. Since the scope of restrictions is too large and too many companies are involved, it is not just restrictions. As soon as Japan announced the detailed rules for restrictions, the U.S. chip giant was censored by the Chinese side. What happened? According to official sources, in order to ensure the security of the supply chain of key information facilities, and prevent network security risks caused by hidden product problems, a network security review of Micron's products sold in the Chinese market is conducted. Micron is the third largest storage chip giant in the world, second only to Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix. Micron has an extremely important position in the storage industry in the Chinese market and cooperates with most of the manufacturers in China. At the consumer level, Micron's products are also favored by many consumers. But as the country implemented a network security review of Micron this time, it was discovered that things were not that simple. Things have to start in 2018, when Micron began to offer advice and suggestions to the United States, and continuously submitted lobbying materials to the United States, involving trade, intellectual property rights, product shipments, etc. And almost all of these lobbying materials were directed at China. Even Micron personally launched a patent lawsuit with Fujian Jinhua, a memory chip manufacturer. As a result, Fujian Jinhua was included in the Entity List by the United States, which affected the normal business development of Fujian Jinhua. By 2022, the United States will pay more attention to China's memory chip industry, and Yangtze River Storage will also be included in the Entity List and cannot normally purchase American technology equipment products. As the largest NAND manufacturer in China, YMTC has high hopes. Not only that, the United States has raised the scope of restrictions to the market level, not only for certain companies. Even foreign companies' factories in China cannot normally purchase American equipment, such as Samsung Electronics. SK Hynix's factories in mainland China are affected. Looking at the whole picture, one memory chip manufacturer after another has been restricted by the United States, and only Micron has been safe and sound, becoming the biggest beneficiary behind the actions of the United States. If the United States does not stop its actions, Micron's competitors will gradually lose market share, and they may not be Micron's opponents in the long run. Micron has no research and development center or memory chip manufacturing plant in the mainland, so it is basically not affected by the US restrictions. He produces memory chips elsewhere, then exports them to China, and uses the hands of the United States to suppress competitors in the Chinese market. May I ask whether Micron is innocent of being subject to cybersecurity review in China? It even makes people suspect that the United States' repeated attacks on China's memory chip industry are also the result of Micron's secret lobbying. Therefore, Micron is not wronged by China's censorship. According to Micron's response, it will actively communicate and fully cooperate with the investigation. If people don't want to know, Micron may not be innocent unless they do nothing. Once something is really found out, it's hard to say whether Micron can still gain the trust of consumers. It is estimated that Biden's heart is broken. After working for so long, he can't get any benefits in the end. Moreover, China is accelerating the development of the chip industry. The more restrictions are imposed, the easier it is to arouse the determination of self-research. Micron may not withdraw from the Chinese market, but since Micron can start, it is enough to explain the problem. Faced with various restrictive measures by the United States, China will not remain indifferent.